Hello,
Hello.
Luca.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's it all going?
It's all going really fine. I mean, I can't bear anymore this lockdown, even if, as you know, in London it's being slightly more gentle than what, our friends in Italy have had to go.
Yeah.
But I need action. We need to go back to actions. Like we people of the hospitality, we are animals of the entertaining, we need to work at least 70, 80 hours a week, and without that, we are lost. Yes, you can glue me on a sofa. The first week is going to be fantastic. The second week is going to be party all over, Zoom, drinks, aperitif, this, that, the other, tastings. The third week, yes, we all bake the fucking bread. We all bake pizza. We all try to make the finest pastas. We polish those books that we haven't read. We probably never read. That's it. That's it. We need action.
And now we're like, okay, we've done our bit. Let us get back to entertaining. Like you said, eating and drinking, it's definitely something that should be shared together. Breaking bread with friends, I think, is really, what it's about.
I also, because in my opinion, I mean, it's pretty much therapeutical, if you're in a bad mood,
Yeah.
Break breads with friends, you go back in a good mood. And I think there's energy, so it is therapeutical. It should actually be sponsored by the NHS,
Yes, I really like where this is going.
Don't stay home and feel miserable. Go out and have a drink.
Or just stay home, but definitely break bread and drink lots.
Exactly.
I have honestly, in all honesty, had my fair share of drinking this lockdown. Yeah, I think it will definitely be remembered by my children as the year that mummy drank all the wine.
We need to make more room in the cellar for those new bottles that will arrive. Vintage.
But so I'm really now, I feel I'm obviously a wine connoisseur myself after this little lockdown moment, but let me hear from you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take myself off screen and let you have the floor, and please help everybody else, especially those mothers who are like, I'm bored of this one and I really need a new one to be drinking every day. Let them know what we should be drinking.
Yes, I'll try to do my best.
Thank you.
Cool. So, first of all, just to give you a quick introduction of myself, I'm Luca and I run my own company called Passione Vino, and I've been a very happy Londoner, as you can see from my beer belly, stress face, and probably a parking ticket as we speak. I've been a very happy Londoner for the past 25 years, and I have been spending all my energy, and I've been, aiming the focus of my company only in discovering, sourcing, importing, and shouting out about small artisan winemakers from all over Italy, but only from Italy, simply because I strongly believe in specializations, in the sense that I am Italian, my business partner is Italian, we know Italy, we know the culture of Italy, we know the inside out of Italy, and Italy has so much to offer that is unbelievable. So contrary to what our bank manager always told us, go for something Spanish, add some French wines into your range, etc., etc. We remain, we kept on the Made in Italy track, because I thought I don't want to go international until I have absolutely discovered everyone and everything, which that is physically and technically impossible. Anyway, going back to the Calabrian influence in my business, that has been actually quite amazing, because even for us Italians, I'm originally from Verona, from the north, even for us Italian, Calabria has always been a bit of a, not obscure, but a little bit of a inaccessible region that we all heard of, but very few of us are extremely familiar with. We probably all have very good friends from Calabria, but very few of us has actually had the lucky of living the inside out, the perfumes, the colors, the aromas of Calabria. In my experience in London, I made a very good friend, Francesco Mazzei, he's a great chef, and he's from Calabria, who has invited me once to Calabria, and I just, he took me to the next level. Then being, you know, such a new, in a way, region for me, I try to taste as much as I possibly could. And I found, in my opinion, two of the most amazing wines that we could have in Passione Vino. One of which is a wine that I could easily say that is probably the wine I like the most. Even if I put a lot of effort into it, I cannot get to drink enough of it. And it's a rosé wine, okay? But it's not those kind of a Hello Kitty Barbie looking like strawberry driven rosé. It's actually a full on gently tannic rosé, which doesn't have like a very pinkish color. It's actually more coppery, okay? This is the label that I want to show you. It's a very, very small producer called Avita. It's completely natural, completely organic. The total production of this rosé is just over 7,000 bottles, which is absolutely nothing. And the entire production is made out of Gaglioppo. Now, first of all, when you start talking about rosé, and I'm sure there are a lot of ladies there, they're like, oh, I like my crispy rosé, I like my strawberry rosé, I like my fruity rosé. But it's, you have to always consider the very responsible rosé winemakers. They will dedicate a whole vineyard just for the production of rosé. The non-responsible rosé winemakers, they will make a rosé wine out of a red wine vineyard. I'm gonna go back to it, but I don't want to be too technical. Now, Gaglioppo, 100%. I want you to see the color straight away, which for me is utterly sexy. So first of all, it doesn't have the kind of like pale pink, you know, Barbie-ish looking like color, but it's rather coppery. It's more like a granite. It's more like a pomegranate juice, and he has this beautiful, as I said, like brick, you know, orangey shades. The perfume, for me, this wine encloses every single perfume that I experienced in Calabria, one of which, above all, is mandarin, clementines, and bergamot, which are, for me, formidable flavor, especially when they are related to wine. When you drink this rosé, again, oh, fucking hell. Beautiful. Utterly beautiful. So first of all, it's not soft, it's not sweet, it's actually quite sharp, a little bit acidic. It's like pure blood orange, another jewel of Calabria. You know, the kind of like citrusy fruity, but you always have a kind of like sweet and sour backbone. He has a fraction of tannins because the wine, actually, the Gaglioppo, the grape variety, which actually creates one of the oldest DOC of Italy, the Ciro, is a grape variety that has quite a lot of tannins. Now, to make a rosé wine, you simply, there are a few methods, okay? But in this particular case, you crush the grapes and then you leave the grapes in contact, in maceration with the must, only for 12 hours, because you know that the colors of the wine is contained within the skin of the grapes. Within the skin of the grapes, there are some elements called anthocyanins and flavonoids, which also creates the pigments of the color. The longer you leave the skins in maceration with the must, the more pigments will be released into the color. This is why, you know, you can actually make a white wine out of a red grapes, because if you crush the grape, bang, and then you remove the skin straight away, you don't get any pigments into the juice. The beautiful thing about this wine is that it's completely natural. It has absolutely no sulfites. It's absolutely, it picks up a completely natural fermentation. And in terms of drinkability, is unbelievable because it technically falls into the category of a rosé wine, but he has the backbone of a red wine. He has the warmth of Calabria. He has the citrus of Calabria. He has the gentle cooking herbs of Calabria, like thyme and oregano. And then he also has the beautiful spices of Calabria with even a hint of licorice, which was one of the finest I ever tasted in my life. And I cannot drink enough of this rosé, simply because you can match it with fish, fatty fish. You can drink it on its own, as well as you can go as heavy as lamb. It also depends a lot on which temperature you do serve this wine. The producer is basically just outside of Ciro, but the vineyards that he dedicates to the production of this fantastic rosé wine, they are literally by the sea. They are very close to Ciro Marina. So technically I'm on a plane at 0 meters above the sea level of altitude, and they benefit from the beautiful sea breeze, which inevitably will deliver some saltiness into the flavor of the wine, because you also know, or you have to know, that however the soil is composed, those elements, those minerals of the composition of the soil through the roots will end up in the flavor of the flesh of the grapes, and therefore into the flavor of the wine. Only if the winemaker is a low intervention winemaker, is a responsible natural winemaker, someone who manipulates his wine the least possible. Because in my opinion, and I'm really strong opinionated, wine is liquid geography, you know, no more, no less. I mean, wine, it's an extension of the personality of the wine producer, as well as he has to be a business card of the very specific territory, a very specific vineyard, a very specific sub-region where it does come from. But to obtain that, you have to let the grapes to fully enjoy the circle of the vegetations, and do not handle it too much, and actually do not pollute it as much as, unfortunately, some other producers do. Calabria for me has been a great discovery, and Calabria is, in my opinion, a region which does reflect a lot of the personalities of the characteristic of even the people. You know, they are, you know, strong, hard, but deep down they're very soft, and you know, there is also a great element of elegance, you know, and this for me is, out of 320 wines that I do have in Passione Vino, this is the one that I always end up choosing. Doesn't matter if it's summer, doesn't matter if it's winter, doesn't matter if it's with fish, with meat. But the most important thing always when you drink a bottle of wine is, first of all, the wine. Second thing is the company. Food can implement and take the wine to the next level, but ultimately, if the wine is crap, you can eat in, you know, 3 Michelin stars, whatever, you know, you still have a really bad experience. I don't know if anybody has any questions, or how does it work? I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Paolo.
Just 1 second.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
No, because then
Let me come back
I can't stop, you see, especially when I drink the Calabrian wine. So I don't know if, you know, if there are any questions, because I keep seeing only the two of you. I don't see anyone else. So
No, so we have people in the chat there. Let's have a look and see if there's any questions come through.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
Otherwise, I keep going as a freestyle. It's no problem.
No, keep going. I think everyone's enthralled by your knowledge. It's great. Keep going.
Excellent. Fantastic. So, you know, rosé wine, at first, I want to go back to now. I want to leave a little bit like Calabria, and I want to go into like wine, you know, in general. First of all, the most important thing when you attend to a tastings, or, you know, when you are listening to a, you know, chubby guy like me, or a producer, whatever, the most important thing is never to be scared of asking questions, because wine is everything but snobbish. You cannot listen to someone who's actually snob, someone who makes you think, someone who makes you feel that you do not know. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Wine is reality. Wine is something that, excuse my language anyway, but I get emotional when I talk about wine. But the wine is something that needs to be shared. And if someone thinks or believes that they know absolutely everything, they are pure losers, because in the same moment that they think that they know, they probably have invented something else, another appellation, another denomination, etc., etc. And I can tell you one little trick, which applies not only to wine, but it applies to everything. So I do a lot of tastings. You know, this Zoom thing is quite new. Obviously, this is a child of the lockdown. It is amazing. It's fantastic. It'll probably carry on for several years to come. I think they will. And but I do a lot of tastings. I do a lot of courses and stuff like that. And for me, the most important thing is not. I don't focus into like. How can I say? Make you understand that I know a lot. No, but I'm trying to make you feel comfortable to obtain even more, to know even more, to demand even more, to make yourself even more comfortable in front of people who are trying to tell you that they know and you don't. That doesn't exist. And I tell you one thing, you know, you don't need to be a fishmonger, okay, to understand that a fish is old and it stinks, correct? You don't.
Very true. No, very true.
Yeah, and as well as
I think I really. Oh my! I was just saying. I really think though that we get very intimidated. You know, if you're in a restaurant and you go to maybe ask a question about a wine, sometimes the atmosphere makes you feel really intimidated.
It can be indeed, and those are the atmosphere that I absolutely hate, because it cannot be. Wine cannot be snob, you know, and a wine sommelier or wine connoisseur or wine producer, the last thing he wants to do is be a snob, because then you end up on your own. People will avoid you. Because
create like a wall between the client and himself. Create a wall when you go to the table.
Absolutely. So, you know, you need to lead me. You need to convince me that I know that from you, I will enjoy my next most favorite wine. But how do I
be able to take it by hand?
Yes, because if you intimidate me, if you behave very snob to me, I'm not gonna let you choose for me. You know, you stay there. You snob, fuck you. Stay there. Choose what I know, which is always gonna be like a name that I know, a region that I know, or a price that I would like to pay. And this is what in a lot of restaurants they lost a little bit the charm of being also recognized like great wine, you know, wine restaurants, you know, like wine bars, etc., because they were so intimidating that people were like choosing only what they knew. You know, it's like in Passione Vino, the place that I run. Our rule is very simple. Always try to sell what people don't want to buy, but not by pushing, okay, not by being too commercial, but because I need to lead you. My job is to try to expand your comfort zone in the made in Italy that you don't know. And how can I expand your comfort zone without destroying? If I am a snob, I'll bloody destroy your comfort. I need to slowly lead you there. So first of all, obviously you have to trust me. But how can I buy your trust? I can buy your trust by understanding exactly what you need the wine for. So first of all, if you go in a wine shop, doesn't matter if you just give as many questions as possible, because the more things I know, the better I can recommend you.
So what are the kind of questions that we should be asking? So if I'm going to go into a wine shop and I want to buy a couple of bottles, really easy bottles, just to take round to a girlfriend's house, and I want to try and think new, what questions I should ask in order to get the right results?
So if you go, okay, into a proper wine shop where there are people like me which are not craving to make money. I mean, yes, we all want to become rich, you know, we all want to make a lot of money. But, you know, when you walk into my shop, I don't want to make as much money as possible on one go. I need to build your trust. I need to gain your trust. I need to win your, you know, several visits, you know, for the years to come. So I have to be the one asking questions, and I need to, obviously, by asking questions, I need to make you feel comfortable. I need to make you feel that you are in the right place. I need to make you feel that there is someone that will lead you by hand to 3 choices of wine. And I explain you why. So you walk into my shop, okay? The first question is, obviously, you're looking for a bottle of wine. The first question I will give you is it for a dinner? Is it for a drink? Or is it a present? Okay? because
Oh
I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
built like a kind of an app, a video game, okay? And it's built. Do you remember, Paolo? I don't know if you remember as well. Indovina Chi. Do you remember that game that you were like,
Yeah.
guess who? You know, has he got? Is he
Yeah,
wearing?
guess
Yeah,
who?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Tack 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 tack. Has he got a beard? Yes. Tack 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 tack. Is he fat? Tack tack tack. No. Boom. Okay, it's him. So if you tell me like, is it for a dinner? Is it just a drink with friends, or is it a present? You answer, and already by your answer, I know already where to go. For example, if you say it's a present, I want to take you to the second question would be like, is it going to be a present for someone who knows about wine or someone who don't know about wine? Then you
Good
say
question.
it's a present for someone who don't know about wine. Perfect. So you want to go for a big bottle, but cheap price.
Yeah.
You want to impress, you know, by the size of it, but
Ah.
you don't want to go too much into details. If, for example, it's someone who knows a little bit about wine, then haha, hang on a minute, we need to discover a little bit more. Is he more into red? Does he normally drink French, etc., etc.? If, for example, you say it's for dinner, perfect. Do you know the menu, or you don't know the menu, or you don't care about the menu? And you say, I know the menu, perfect. Then once you know the menu, it's like, you know, you open up like a massive page on which, you know, we can stay chatting about the food and wine matching forever. If you say, for example, I don't know the menu, I am a guest, because obviously that, if you don't know the menu, it means you are a guest.
Yeah.
Then the only things I need to know is it just the two of you? Is it a group? Or is it like a family dinner? Because we get a lot of, you know, people coming in buying wine because they have been invited by the mother-in-law or the father-in-law, and they need to bring, you know, like, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
If, for example, it's between friends, I need to know, is there more girlfriends or more boyfriends? Because also that actually dictates a little bit of your choice. If it, for example, no, it's a family dinner, I say, how important is it? Is it your first date? Is it the first time?
You got to impress the family, impress the parents.
Exactly. Do you want to impress? You don't want to impress? You want to show off cool because he knows about wine, or if he doesn't know about wine, etc., etc. So by doing all of this question, I can always get to three options. I will always, in Passione Vino, I'll always give you three options. A classic option, an unknown option, and a very brave option. Okay, so for example, if you're telling me that you're going for a barbecue, I'll probably advise you to go for a sparkling red. Or if you want to show off to your father-in-law because you didn't yet quite get well together, but he's a bit of a wino and he's always been drinking the fucking chateau wine, etc., etc. He's always been showing off. Perfect. I'm going to give you something from Piedmont, but from outside of the areas that everybody knows in Piedmont, you know, like the Barolo and the Barbaresco. I'm going to give you some Gattinara, maybe some Bramaterra, or even some Gemme, you know, like, or even the Rosé from Calabria, you know, like, show off. Nobody's cooking lamb. Better. Present yourself with a rosé, and from the deep south of Italy, you know, bang. Because at the end of the day, wine is inside of the bottle. It's not outside on the label. You know,
Yeah.
you have to realize that.
That's
you know,
so true.
the label, you have to drink the wine.
Yeah.
That's my, you know. So the more questions I give you, the more answer you provide me with. So the more comfort you gain with me, and the more precise my options will be. Obviously, the very, very last question for me will be like, what's the budget that you had in mind? Because you might have 20 pounds, 40 pounds, 30 pounds. And obviously, if you say 50 pounds, I will try to give you something for 35. If you say 35, I'll try to provide you something for 25, 30, etc., etc. But the vast majority, you know, like a good quality wine in a shop, you know, it goes between 15 to 35 pounds. On a made in Italy, you can get like beautiful things, because differently from the French and from made in France, made in Italy, it's something that I can't say Italians are better, of course. Technically, we all know that.
Italians do it better.
Italians do it better, exactly.
There's a hashtag.
Luca, tell me, dimmi questo. Quanto è stato...
Sì.
Magari ci capiscono meglio. Poi la traduciamo. Quanto è stato importante per te la tua conoscenza nel vino per aver successo con le ragazze. E ti dico poi perché.
Mia moglie l'ho conosciuta perché io ero il wine guy e lei gestiva quindi cioè io arrivo.
Something about this.
No, don't say that. Don't say shush yourself.
We want to know that.
First day out, I take her to Orvieto. Do you know Orvieto?
Wow, beautiful.
Right? Our first date. And I said, and I'm trying to be like, I was a connoisseur when I don't know, like now, nothing about wine. But I learned this word, which is
retrogusto.
Yeah, and with this word, I make myself like a connoisseur.
I didn't speak a word of Italian. I'd never even been to Italy before. I was driven to this tiny restaurant on the top of the hill with 5 tables in it. And Paolo was talking with the guy and I was like, oh, it's very fancy. And he was talking about the wine and he said, the retrogusto and this and that. And I was like, oh.
If you know, you know.
The retrogusto. So have you got a tattoo somewhere with the retrogusto?
I know, that'll come next. Luca, tell me, when we come out of lockdown, where do I find your shop? Where do I find you? Where do I find your shop?
So, first of all, you will hear about us because as soon as we come out of the lockdown, I'm going to fucking throw a massive party that, you know, like that anything goes, like, you know, you always get out of it. Let's fucking celebrate all over again. No, jokes apart, we are in Shoreditch. We are in Leonard Street. So literally right between Liverpool Street and Old Street stations. And it's basically, it's like a house on 6th floor. And the ground floor is the shop. Behind the shop, we have 3 floors of wine bar. So it's basically an osteria where we serve all of our wines by the glass. So we have 320 labels. There are the 73 producers that we do import directly, and we, you know, go and select, and we do import directly. We have, you know, obviously the salumi, the formaggi. We also have a small menu, like really. You know, I'm a wine guy, okay, and I run an osteria, which is not a restaurant. So I don't want to be fancy on the restaurant. I don't want to be fancy. So the food is very, you know, bottom line, product led, ingredient led, season led, but simple. Mom's cooking, you know, like it's really like comfort at the very possible way. I don't care about what is fashionable out there. I don't care what's, you know, maybe I don't want to start talking about vegans and stuff like that because otherwise I won't stop. We are like straightforward, you know, like we are.
Another day.
If you like wine, you're gonna. Love. We are. So food is a supplement.
So straightforward, good food, amazing wine, over 350 bottles to try by the glass. Sounds absolutely like my place. And okay, so we don't know how long this is going for. Are you selling wine online at the moment?
We do, yes. So on passionevino.co.uk, which was a website, technically is not ready yet, but it's quite finished. Because of the lockdown, we had to push like an e-commerce page out. This is why it might not look like as it used to, as it was meant to, because I never even believed in fucking e-commerce. I thought like, fuck that, no.
You want people to come to my shop? Okay, people can't come to my shop.
Perfect. You go on the website and you will find yourself in front of like a whole, you find yourself in front of like all of the 320 labels that we have. We have obviously our tagliere misto, basically vacuum pack, so you can have different kinds of cheeses and different kinds of meats, different kinds of sausages. We deliver nationwide everywhere. We have a little bit of olive oil, we have a little bit of, you know, like tomato sauces and stuff like that. And a lot of passion and a lot of love, you know, and, you know, because we always say, you know, like, it's not about making money. It's about like you coming back. You know, if you come back, that's it. I'm happy. If I sell you a bottle that cost me €5 for 500 euros, I'm happy. But for half an hour, it's a mental masturbation, isn't it?
Very nice to meet you, Luca.
Luca,
Cheers for you.
cheers, cheers, cheers,
Cheers.
Yes.
cheers.
Thank you
That
very
was
much.
incredible. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Luca.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
For the rest of the
Thank
weekend.
you very much.
Viva la tropea.
And you.
Grazie.
Buona tropea.